Joseph accused by Potiphar's wife, a dramatic scene of betrayal and deception. Joseph accused by Potiphar's wife, painted in 1655 by one of Rembrandt's workshop assistants, is a masterpiece that depicts a dramatic scene from the Book of Genesis. The painting is part of the Widener collection at the National Gallery of Art in Washington, D.C. The artist uses a striking contrast of light and shadow to create a sense of drama and tension. The woman, who falsely accuses Joseph of trying to violate her, sits in a pool of light against a deeply shadowed background. She wears a rose-pink, fur-trimmed robe over a white chemise, and a pearl necklace and gold bracelets adorn her. Her chestnut-brown hair is partially pulled up while curls fall to her shoulders. The woman looks to her left, at a shadowy bearded man, who is her husband Potiphar, an officer of the pharaoh. He wears a turban wrapped in a gold chain, a cloak patterned with shades of bronze, olive green, and rust red, and a sword hangs from his belt. He stoops slightly to rest his right arm on her chair, and his hand brushes her shoulder. The woman's mouth is open and brow furrowed as she points to the bed with her right hand, where Joseph's red robe is draped over the bedpost. Her other hand holds up the loose neckline of her chemise to cover her chest, as if to show her modesty and innocence. The artist follows Rembrandt's technique of applying paint in complex, thin layers of medium-rich paint, creating a heavily textured surface enriched with transparent glazes. The artist also captures the emotional expressions of the characters, especially the woman's accusatory gaze and Joseph's bewildered look. The painting focuses on the interior of Potiphar's house, where the bed and the heavy wooden armchair are the main elements of the furniture. The bed is covered with white linens and a mustard yellow coverlet, and a burgundy-red cloth or garment is draped over a bedpost. The top half of the painting is swallowed in deep shadow, suggesting a dark and ominous atmosphere. The painting invites the viewer to witness a moment of betrayal and deception, where a woman's lust and jealousy lead her to falsely accuse an innocent man. The painting also reflects the moral dilemma of Joseph, who resisted the woman's seduction and fled from her, but was still punished for his virtue. Joseph accused by Potiphar's wife is based on the Book of Genesis 39:7-20, which recounts how Joseph, who had been sold by his brothers to Potiphar, became trusted and honored in Potiphar's household. However, Potiphar's wife, whose name is not given in the biblical account, tried to seduce him repeatedly, but he refused. One day, when no one else was in the house, she grabbed his robe and said, "Come to bed with me." But he left his robe in her hand and ran out of the house. She then used his robe as evidence against him and told her husband that Joseph had tried to rape her. Potiphar was furious and put Joseph in prison. The painting is an example of chinoiserie, a style that incorporated elements of Chinese culture into Western art and design.